no heating. How did people sleep during coldest winters in medieval England? Relaxing history. The night settles slowly over the old city of York. It is winter, deep winter, in the later years of the Middle Ages. The streets are quiet, and the cold rests heavily on stone and wood. This telling is meant to be gentle, meant to slow the breath, and ease the mind toward sleep. There is no sudden danger here, no loud sound. Only the soft presence of a long winter night. A night that has come many times before. And will come again, quietly, as it always has. York stands enclosed by its walls. Strong walls of stone, worn by rain and frost. Inside them, the city rests close together. Buildings leaning inward, as if for warmth. The streets are narrow. They bend and turn without hurry. Cobbles lie uneven beneath thin layers of frost. Moisture gathers in the air, forming a pale fog that drifts slowly. Light is scarce. A few oil lamps glow near doorways. Candles flicker behind shutters. Most of the street is left to moonlight and memory. The cold is steady. It does not rush. It settles, and stays. People know it well. Houses are small. Many are built of timber frames, filled with wattle and daub. The upper stories lean out over the street, as though watching the ground below. Inside, space is limited. Rooms serve many purposes. Sleeping, eating, working, all in the same place. Privacy is rare, warmth is shared. At the center of most homes is the hearth. A shallow stone place where wood burns, or sometimes coal. The smoke rises slowly, finding its way out through holes in the roof. The fire is not large. Fuel is precious. It is fed carefully. A little at a time. Even so, the warmth does not reach far. It gathers near the flames, leaving the corners cold, leaving the floor colder still. Rushes are scattered on the ground. Dried reeds mixed with herbs. They soften the earth floor. They hold some warmth, but also damp. Beds are simple. Often nothing more than wooden frames. Strung with rope. Covered with straw mattresses. The straw shifts softly when someone lies down. It smells faintly of the fields. Wool blankets are laid on top. Heavy, coarse, but warm. Feather beds are rare. Only for those with means. Most people sleep wrapped in wool, wearing the same clothes they wore during the day. Night garments are few. A linen shift. Perhaps a wool cap. Anything to keep warmth close to the skin. Children sleep together. 2 or 3 in one bed. Their breathing close. Their warmth shared. Parents sleep nearby. Sometimes in the same room. Sometimes in a loft above. Always within reach. The wind presses against the walls. It finds small gaps. It whispers through them. A sound familiar to every sleeper. Outside, the streets are still. A watchman passes slowly. His footsteps measured. His lantern swinging gently. He calls the hour. His voice low. Reassuring. A sign that the night is kept. Earlier in the day, the city was busy. But not hurried. Life moves at a steady pace here. Even in winter. At dawn, people rise slowly. The cold makes waking difficult. Hands reach for wool cloaks. Feet search for shoes stiff with frost. Breakfast is simple. Bread, dark and coarse. Porridge made from oats. Sometimes warmed by the hearth. Meat is scarce. Saved for feast days. Most meals rely on grains. Beans, peas. Onions. Vegetables are stored carefully. Cabbages hung in cellars. Turnips buried in sand. Whatever the earth has given. Ale is drunk often. Safer than water. Weak and cloudy. But warming. People eat slowly. Speaking little in the cold morning. Saving breath. Saving strength. Work begins early. Even when the sun is slow to rise. There is always something to do. Even in winter. Artisans open their shops. Blacksmiths tend small fires. Cobblers stitch worn shoes. Weavers work looms in dim light. The sound of hammer on metal. Of wood against wood. Fills the air softly. Never too loud. Market stalls appear near the square. Covered with cloth. Weighted against the wind. Merchants stand wrapped in cloaks. They sell bread. Cheese. Salted fish. Candles made of tallow. Horses pull small carts through the streets. Their breath visible in the cold air. Hooves strike stone. A steady rhythm. Wagons creak slowly. Carrying firewood. Sacks of grain. Barrels of ale. The smell of smoke hangs everywhere. From hearths. From workshops. From cooking fires. Children help where they can. Carrying water. Sweeping floors. Running small errands. Some attend lessons at church. Learning prayers. Learning letters. Sitting close together for warmth. Others are apprenticed. Learning a trade. Observing quietly. Repeating simple tasks. Play is brief in winter. Cold fingers grow numb quickly. Games are short. Laughter soft. As daylight fades, work slows. People return home. Closing shutters tightly. Barring the door against wind. Evening meals are modest. More porridge. Perhaps a bit of cheese. Sometimes a small piece of meat. The hearth is fed again. Just enough. Flames flicker. Casting long shadows. Families gather close. Sitting on stools. On benches. On the floor. Stories are told softly. Old tales. Familiar words. Heard many times before. Hands mend clothing. Needles move slowly. Wool is patched. Shoes are repaired. The cold presses on. But inside, there is quiet. A sense of enclosure. Of shared endurance. When sleep comes, it comes early. Candles are expensive. Darkness is accepted. Welcomed. People prepare for bed carefully. Adding extra straw. Pulling blankets close. Placing cloaks nearby. The fire is banked. Not left to burn freely. Ashes are drawn over embers. To keep a little warmth until morning. Doors are checked. Windows covered. The house settles. Outside, frost forms again. On wood. On stone. On earth. The city grows silent. Only the wind remains. Moving through alleys. Between roofs. Sleep is light at first. The cold makes bodies restless. People shift. Draw closer together. But slowly. Breathing deepens. Thoughts fade. The night holds them. In these winters, people endure. Not with ease. But with familiarity. Cold is part of life. There is no complaint. Only acceptance. And small comforts. Shared warmth, shared space. The hours pass. Marked by bells. By the watchman's call. By the slow turning of the night. Snow may fall. Softly. Silently. Covering the streets. By morning, it will be trampled. Mixed with mud. Turned to slush. Life continuing. But for now, the city sleeps. Wrapped in wool. In stone. In time. The cold remains. Steady. Unchanging. And known. Breath rises and falls. In small rooms. In narrow houses. Along crowded streets. The medieval winter night stretches on. Calm. Unbroken. Enduring. And slowly. Very slowly. The mind drifts. Following the rhythm of long ago. Winter nights continue, quiet lives beneath the frost. The night has not yet ended. It stretches on, patient and unmoving. Inside the city walls of medieval England, the cold keeps its steady watch. This second telling continues gently, slower still, meant to settle the thoughts and carry the listener onward into rest. Beyond the houses, beyond the narrow streets, the fields lie bare. Hedgerows stand stiff with ice. The earth is hard and closed. Farming has paused, but care has not. In small cottages near the city edge, peasants sleep close to their animals. A cow or goat is kept indoors. Its body gives off warmth. Its breath clouds the air. The smell is strong but familiar. It has always been so. Warmth matters more than comfort. Especially in winter. These homes are built low, with thick walls of mud and timber. Roofs weighed down by straw, designed to keep the wind from cutting too deeply. Inside, silence settles unevenly. A log cracks softly in the hearth. Ash shifts. Then stillness returns. People wake briefly in the night. Not from fear, but from cold fingers or aching joints. An old man pulls his cloak tighter. A woman adjusts a blanket over a child. Movements are slow, measured, conserving warmth. Sleep returns in small waves. Never too deep, but enough. In richer houses, the cold is only slightly eased. Stone halls hold chill stubbornly, even with tapestries on the walls, even with fires burning. Servants sleep on floors near the hearth, wrapped in thin blankets. Their rest brief, their duties early. Before dawn, someone stirs the embers, coaxes a flame back to life. The smell of smoke rises again, signaling morning's approach. Bells toll faintly from the church, calling the hour. Their sound travels far in winter air, clear and slow. People rise before light. The cold makes movement heavy, but habit is stronger. Work must be done. Water is fetched from wells. Ice broken carefully. Hands grow numb. But buckets are filled. Bread dough is checked. Left to rise overnight. Slow in the cold, but alive. Ale barrels are opened. Steam curls faintly. A sip warms the chest. Before the day begins. In monasteries nearby, monks rise silently. Feet touch stone floors. Cold even through sandals. Prayers begin in dim halls. Their breath forms small clouds. Voices are low, measured, echoing softly. They, too, feel the winter. But routine carries them. Hour by hour. Back in the streets, the city awakens. Not suddenly, but gradually. Door by door. Shutters open a little. Then more. Light creeps in. Gray and pale. Snow crunches underfoot. Or mud pulls at boots. Each step known. Each path familiar. Women sweep doorways, clearing ice and refuse. Their shawls pulled tight. Faces calm. Men lift goods from storehouses. Grain sacks heavy. Hands rough. Breath steady. Trades continue despite cold. Leather stiffens. Wood cracks easily. Metal bites the skin. Yet work goes on. Because it must. Because winter does not excuse hunger. Or rent, or duty. Markets are quieter now. Fewer stalls. But still enough. Enough to supply the day. Salt fish is sold. Hard bread exchanged. Candles carefully counted. Nothing wasted. Children carry bundles. Their feet quick. Learning early to endure. Learning without complaint. There is little talk of warmth. Cold is expected. Spoken of rarely. Like darkness or rain. As afternoon fades, the sky lowers again. Clouds press down. Light weakens. Shadows lengthen. People hurry home before full dark. Not from fear, but from habit. And cold. Doors close once more. Bars set in place. Hearths tended. The day ends as it began. Supper is eaten quietly. Spoons scraping bowls. Steam rising briefly. Then gone. Fatigue settles into bones. Winter deepens it. Makes rest welcome. Necessary. Clothing is loosened. Boots placed near embers. Still stiff by morning. But warmer than before. Beds are prepared again. Straw shifted. Blankets shaken. Small rituals repeated. These acts are ancient. Done by parents. And their parents before them. Unchanged. As bodies lie down, the house listens. To wind. To roof beams. To distant bells. Sleep returns more easily now. The body knows the pattern. Knows the night will pass. As it always has. Dreams are simple. Of fields. Of bread. Of summer warmth remembered. Outside, the moon moves slowly. Over walls. Over towers. Over frozen ground. The city rests again. Holding its breath. Holding its people. There is no fire that lasts all night. No room fully warm. Yet there is shelter. And that is enough. Time drifts onward. Unmarked by clocks. Only by bells. And light. In the depth of medieval winter. People sleep not in comfort. But in quiet persistence. Wrapped in habit and history. The cold remains. But so do they. Breathing. Waiting for morning. The long season turns. Winter does not hurry. It lingers, day after day. In medieval England, people learn to live within its length. This telling moves onward, slowly, as the season itself does. As weeks pass, the cold becomes familiar. Not kinder. But known. Bodies adjust, in small ways. Hands grow tougher. Skin roughened by wind and work. Clothing patched again and again. Each stitch a quiet answer to the cold. Wool cloaks darken with age. Grease and smoke settle into the fibers. Making them heavier. And better at holding warmth. Shoes are lined with scraps of cloth. Sometimes straw. Anything to keep frost from the feet. Walking remains slow and careful. Inside houses, the hearth is watched closely. Fire is never wasted. Ashes are saved. Charcoal guarded. Wood is stacked against walls. Cut earlier in the year. Now precious. Each log counted in thought. On the coldest nights, families sleep closest of all. Bodies turned inward. Blankets tucked tight. Even breath is shared. There is little talk before sleep. Words require warmth. Silence costs nothing. Silence settles easily. Some nights, snow presses hard against doors. Wind pushes at shutters. The house creaks. But stands. People trust the weight of walls. The strength of beams. Built by hands like theirs. Long ago. Morning brings the same tasks. But slower now. Cold stiffens joints. Makes rising an effort. Still, bells ring. And life answers. As it always does. Churches offer brief warmth. Stone holds the cold. Yet many gather. For prayer, for habit, for quiet company. Candles burn low. Light barely reaches the rafters. Voices murmur together. Soft and steady. Outside again, the streets wait. Unchanged. Marked by footsteps. By cart wheels, by time. The river near the city moves slowly. Edges rimmed with ice. Water dark and patient. Boats tied close. Fishermen work less now. But still check nets. Cold fingers numb. Faces calm. In workshops, breath fogs the air. Tools are cold to touch. Work takes longer. But continues. A cooper shapes staves carefully. A baker watches loaves rise with care. A tailor mends by dim light. Each focused, quiet. Children are given more chores indoors. Spinning. Sorting grain. Holding candles. Learning comes through watching. Through repeating small acts. Winter is a teacher. Severe, but steady. At midday, a brief rest. If light allows. Food eaten near the fire. Then work resumes. Time feels thicker in winter. Hours stretch. Moments linger. Nothing rushes ahead. As daylight fades once more, relief arrives quietly. Not joy. But release. Another day endured. Evenings bring closeness again. Families gather. Not for entertainment. But for warmth and rest. Old songs are sometimes hummed. Barely audible. Tunes remembered more than sung. Enough to pass the time. Hands rub together. Feet are placed near embers. Eyes grow heavy. Bodies yield to tiredness. Outside, the city darkens early. Shadows deepen. Fog returns. Softening edges. The watchman's call returns. Measured. Unhurried. A sound of order in the dark. Night settles fully. Cold presses in again. But houses hold. As they have learned to do. Sleep comes unevenly. But it comes. Carried by routine. By trust in morning. Dreams wander. Not far. Within known fields. Within known walls. In these months, hope is quiet. It does not shout. It waits. Like the seed beneath frozen earth. People know the sun will return. They have seen it before. After winters just as long. Just as hard. For now, they rest. Wrapped in wool. In shared breath. In patience. The medieval winter continues. Slow. Unyielding. And endured. And as the night deepens once more. Thoughts soften. Sounds fade. The telling slows with them. Breath by breath. The city sleeps. Held together. By stone, by habit, by time, waiting for the thaw. The heart of winter holds steady. Days pass without clear change. Yet beneath the cold, small signs begin to gather. Not seen at first, only felt. People sense the turning before it shows. In the weight of the air. In the way light lingers a moment longer. In the quiet endurance of their bodies. In the city, roofs remain white in the mornings. Frost clings to thatch. Stone stays cold to the touch. But the sun now climbs a little higher. Shadows shorten, slowly. Almost unnoticed. Yet day by day. They retreat. Inside homes, the same careful patterns continue. Fuel is still guarded. Meals remain plain. But spirits ease, just slightly. A woman notices the bread rising a little faster. A baker feels warmth near the oven last a breath longer. These are small things. But they matter. Clothing shows the winter's work. Edges frayed. Elbows thinned. Yet still serviceable. Wool cloaks are brushed and shaken. Grease renewed. Prepared to last until true warmth returns. Nothing is replaced unless needed. Children grow restless indoors. Their energy contained too long. They are sent on errands more often. Glad to move, even in cold air. They hop over puddles rimmed with ice. Kick at frozen mud. Their laughter brief, then quiet. Cold still demands respect. At the city gates, travelers arrive wrapped tightly. Roads remain hard and slow. Horses tired. Wheels groaning. News travels by word of mouth. No urgency. Just mention of weather elsewhere. Of rivers thawing, or not. The river near the city loosens at its edges. Ice breaks with a dull sound. Water moves more freely. Still dark, still cold. Fishermen test their lines again. Careful. Patient. Accepting what comes. In gardens behind houses, soil is touched. Still firm. Still closed. But watched now. Closely. Tools are checked and mended. Spades sharpened. Baskets repaired. Quiet preparation begins. Church calendars are followed. Saints' days observed. Feasts modest, yet welcomed. Candles burned during longer evenings. Light stretching just enough. Enough to finish a task. Enough to sit a moment more. Stories shift in tone. Less about endurance. More about seasons past. About planting, about travel. Still, nights remain cold. Beds are shared as before. Blankets pulled high. The fire never trusted to last till dawn. Sleep comes with a mix of weariness and patience. The body remembers winter, but also remembers spring. Memory comforts quietly. Wind changes direction some nights, carrying dampness instead of sharp frost. People notice. Even in sleep. A farmer wakes and listens. Rain taps lightly. Not snow. Rain. It does not last long. But the ground accepts it. And keeps it. In the streets, mud replaces ice. Footsteps sound different now. Softer. Heavier. Carts move more slowly. But they move. Life continues its careful rhythm. Unbroken. Work remains steady. But planning begins. Talk of repairs. Of planting schedules. Of fairs to come. Hope is never loud. It does not announce itself. It settles gently. Like light returning to a room. Even the coldest houses feel slightly less severe. Not warm. But bearable. A change felt more than measured. Children fall asleep faster now. Tired from longer days. Dreams widen. Filled with open spaces. The watchman still calls the hours. His voice unchanged. But the night feels shorter. Less endless. Morning arrives sooner. Light finds windows earlier. Faces lift toward it. Without thought. Winter is not gone. It still claims the nights. Still demands care. But its grip has loosened. People do not celebrate yet. They wait. They have learned to wait. Wisely. For now, they rest as they always have. Wrapped in wool. In quiet houses. In shared time. The city breathes together. Stone and timber. People and animals. All enduring. All preparing. And as another night settles in. Gentler than the last. The telling slows again. Following the long, patient turn of the year.